Some are from mining, some are from metallurgy.
Wow, oh, metallurgy, that's a good name. We were calling it like a mineral engineering, but it's okay. Now they changed that department, mineral, metallurgy, and fuel. So is it like, are they providing bachelor's in mineral or metallurgy?
So they are providing bachelor in mineral and metallurgy.
Okay, that's cool. So I don't think so. This is the first kind of interview or like talk. I hope you have done a lot of Navjeet.
Yes, so we have done many kind of talk series, and I guess this is the fourth one,
This is the
which
fourth
I am
one.
hosting. Which I am hosting.
Okay. What was the others?
So I have the
Like,
CCUS, carbon capture, utilization and storage. I have hosted this meeting. Then the geothermal energy. These kind
mhm.
of meets I have hosted.
Are you guys working on sustainability and stuff?
So not yet started.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, sir. In future, we will covering too soon.
Okay, cool, cool. So you guys are expecting us, like a speaker, to talk for like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
So as much as you want.
Diplomatic answer, but it's okay. Where is Darshil? You guys are a very good audience. You joined this talk at like 9 p.m. Sunday. Hands off to you guys. यार किसी को कुछ पूछना हो तो पूछ सकते हैं, we just have few more minutes. I guess it's 9 p.m. but we can still wait for 5 minutes. Prithvi and I joined this conversation like 15 minutes ago, and then now Prithvi is here. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I mean, it's weekend. I don't know what kind of enthusiasm you guys have. But that's what Sachin sir and me were discussing, that it's Saturday night and then
Sunday night. It's a Sunday night for them, I guess.
Sunday night, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Sunday night, 9 p.m.
Getting over hangovers.
Okay.
So, is Darshil here? No?
No.
So, Darshil sir will join in some few minutes.
Okay.
We can wait. I guess he's preparing something. PPD.
So you guys are at ISM right now, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can hear the echo.
Yeah, till the time he joins, you guys can talk. Switch on your cameras. Let me see if it's bot or real humans. Okay, awesome. Anikesh, you're at library.
Everybody is in library, I guess.
Oh shit, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, even Shiksha is in library. Okay.
Yes, sir. So we are expecting more number of students to join. We can wait for some more time.
Yeah. So what are you doing? Shiksha, what's your major?
So I'm pursuing Bachelor of Technology in Petroleum Engineering, and I'm a second year student.
You're a second year student.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my
Anikesh,
classes
how
will
about
start
you?
from tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm also pursuing.
He's having a bad day today. It's okay.
Is there anybody from metallurgy? Wow, complete silence.
Darshil just called me. He's joining in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the audience like? It's petroleum. What other branches do we have in here?
So audience are from Petroleum Engineering Department, Mining Department, and Mineral and Metallurgy Department.
Okay.
Is there anybody from metallurgy, mineral and metallurgy? No.
Audience who are from Mineral and Metallurgy, please raise your hand.
It's okay. I know what they are doing.
It's like another Zoom lecture, right? Just get on the Zoom and you're forget it.
They are getting Zoom in other side.
Yeah.
Okay, so sir, until everyone joins in, I would like to ask you both a question that how was your, how did you spend your time in ISM? How was it?
Sachin sir.
नहीं पृथ्वी तुम चालू करो भाई.
Okay, let me go step by step. So first year, it was just trying to get into the clubs, meeting seniors, going their hostels, introducing, and yeah, it was mostly exploring different clubs, activities, and understanding petroleum and what. First year students are very serious with their grades, so it always ended up being like a lot of focus on studies. Eventually, then second year comes in, you get segregated in your batches and department. Uh, I was lucky that I got to meet people and be in different clubs and organizations. By second year summer, I went to do my. It was my first time leaving the country. Um, yeah, then third year I joined um, placement committee. Did some work in Srijan. Uh, yeah, was part of SPE actively. Went to a lot of conferences. Uh, I'm telling you guys, like BTech is the best time you'll have in your life. So don't, you know, don't take it for granted. Really enjoy, make good friends. It's very important. Like we guys know like how much we miss BTech times. I was talking to Sachin Sir before, and we were like, no, we cannot find those kind of connections and companies you have back in ISM. Okay, Darshil sir is also here.
Hi everyone. IST में सोचने में थोड़ा सा दिक्कत हो गया था. Sorry, but I'm here. Hi sir, Sachin
Good evening, sir.
Good evening everyone. Good evening everyone. So excited to meet you guys.
Good evening. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So what's the agenda? Shiksha, what's the plan?
So today we are going to talk about the event like exploring opportunities via research writing. This is the main theme of our meet.
Nice. So sir, मैं भी अपना थोड़ा सा background introduction दे देता हूँ. So
yeah, let's start the introduction. And one thing before we start anything is that you guys can be really brutally straightforward, ask stupid questions. It doesn't matter. We understand what shoes you are in, and I think we have all been there. So just ask, be honest. Yeah. Okay, Darshil, go ahead.
Yep. So I'm 21 graduate, so मैं सबसे junior हूँ. So let me start. So I'm Darshil. I'm coming from a small town in Rajasthan, and then I went to Kota. पहली बार मैं अच्छी रैंक नहीं आई. Second time I cracked it, and then I came directly in mining department of ISM. That was my first priority in my list. So early counseling first round के अंदर I was like, let's go there. And then as soon as I stepped in, I was like in the dream college of my, right? It was my dream college. There's no big college for mining in there. So I was like pretty confident that I need to learn everything. So I started learning other stuff other than studies. So I was a member of Manthan as a flutist, and then I was member of SME, and I used to play tennis a lot in college. And in my first year, I went to Indonesia, I think through ISAC. Yeah, it was just a good trip. And then in the second year, I did my internship at Vedanta. It's a mining company working in Rajasthan. It is a zinc-led company. And then in the third year, in the second year only, also did that's it. In this third year, no, second year, I also did one more thing, a training of Coal India Limited in Nagpur, WCL. That was 1 month, and I just went there for one day, and then just was for the certificate. So, and the third year, I did my research internship. That was supposed to be in person, but that changed to be in remote because of COVID. That was in University of Western Australia. That was in Perth. And from there, I decided to do my master's, but I took a placement in Vedanta, but I didn't accept it at the end. And I came here in University of Alaska Fairbanks because I got it a funded master's, which was paying more. So, so I just came here, and here I am. Currently, I'm working with with the biggest copper mining company of America. Name is Freeport. So that's kind of my brief background. Yeah.
Nice to know, sir, everything about you. So I would like to start it officially. Hello, everyone. I, Siksha Lehre, host of today's meet, along with my co-host Anikesh Kumar, welcome everyone after a long semester break. I hope everyone has enjoyed their holiday to the fullest and had a productive time with their dearest ones. And now it's time to get engaged in the rhythm of workplace. Let's keep motivating each other and get back to work with full devotion, dedication, and concentration. So most of the participants who have joined us today in this session are not just from the petroleum department, but other earth science branches as well. I would like to request all the attendees to mute themselves. Till then, if you have any query, you can write it in the chat box or can unmute yourself at the end of the session.
Now, getting back to this event, today on behalf of FIPI IIT ISM Student Chapter, in collaboration with SPE IIT ISM Student Chapter and SME IIT ISM Student Chapter, welcome our guest speakers, Mr. Sachin Urade, Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan, and Mr. Darshil Asawa. Welcome, seniors.
Thank you.
Mr. Sachin Urade is a notable alumni of our institute who believes and understands that humans need to reuse potentially recyclable minerals and metals and gradually make the mining and mineral industry sorry sir with the help of environmentally friendly technology. His work includes process-based minerals and creating robust processes for extracting economic minerals and metals from human trash. Now, I would like to call Mr. Sachin Urade, sir, to address all the students. Sir, the stage is all yours.
Sir.
Sorry, yeah, sure. So thank you, Anikesh. Thank you for this stage. So as you know, my name is Sachin. I did my bachelor's and master's. It was a dual degree program. It was the last dual degree program for mineral engineering. And then COVID hits. I graduated in 2020. COVID hits. I stayed there for 1 year, then went for some job purpose in Bangalore. And then I came here to UNR. So there are like 9 mining schools in US. In India, there are like just 2 or 3, but in US, they have like 9 mining schools. Out of them, Mackey School of Mines is one of the oldest, 1857. So here I am doing my master's in metallurgical engineering. And as we know, today's research topic, as per the official email, I got to know, like, I need to talk about the research writing, its application, reference materials, related to research paper, and various genres of research article. But for very beginning, I want to decorate the stage by telling you there are like at least 5 classification of writing. As per me, I divide them writing as a whole in 5 parts. First is a ultra casual. You chat with your friends. For example, I'm texting a message to Prithvi. That's a ultra casual. I don't think about it mostly, the work purpose or anything. So it's like texting your friend on Instagram, Facebook. That's ultra casual. You don't pay attention a lot. Unless you are persuading someone from other gender. But yeah, and then there is a casual, writing. That's a very normal email. When you goes to research, academia, or job, then you probably do write email every day. So those are normal chats which you write, normal emails. Then there is a formal writing when you ice break and start your conversation with your professor, your boss, your advisor. That's the first time you introduce yourself. That's more like a formal. The way Shiksha introduced this program, this talk, that's a very formal way of telling these things. And writing could be a formal. Now, these are the three very basic, ultra casual, casual, and the formal. Then there are two different types of writing, style of writing, that is literature and research, academic writing. So this ultra casual, casual, and the formal writing, those are particularly written for the known readers. It could be your friend, it could be your advisor, it could be your boss, it could be your professor, senior, anyone. But literature, for example, novel or something like books, usually they are generally written for the mass people. That's not for one single reader. And that's how that's where these things get multidimensional. The casual talks don't have much of the dimensions because those are directly addressing to the particular reader. But when you call for the literature and the research, it's very particular. But in that literature and the research, there is a main distinction. So literature start like poetry or novel or the biography or the piece of letter or the blogs. They are particularly written from the start to end. You need to start a book from the first page and goes up to the end. But research papers, they don't work like that. Okay, research articles, research proposals, they don't work like that. You can, some readers can show up and read your article. They just want to read abstract. They just want to read your conclusion. They just want to read some of your methods and materials, how you use them. This is not the linearly distributed content. So this research article should be decorated in a way that anyone from the outside world can come to your paper, start reading, and they can understand what you are telling. But let me start with very first dimension of what is writing. What is the realm of writing? So realm of writing start with thinking. When you think, you write. And for many researchers, for thinking, they write. You will find this from very good authors. Like they just woke up in the morning at 5 o'clock. They will start writing, and they'll start their day by thinking. And the way of thinking is writing. You're putting your thoughts onto the paper. But when you publish any work, so in academia, you publish research paper, you write a proposal for grants, and you publish many scientific articles. So in that time, most of your articles should be smooth, flawless. Anybody can start reading from any point. So usually that's what they asked me, like the FIPI, that what is the various genres. But in most of the research paper, paper starts with title, then abstract, then introduction, discussion, material, method, discussion, results, and conclusion. But when readers comes to your paper, they don't start reading like that. They comes to your paper, read the title. If you think that's very good for you, they will, okay, that's a green signal from them. Then they will read the abstract, and then directly they will go to the conclusion. They don't start reading your introduction or material. They just go to your title. Okay, that's good. That's important, relevant for them. And then they will go to the abstract. And then what you achieve, that should be in the conclusion. And then only they will go to your introduction and start reading the real paper. So this is how non-linear this entire academic writing is. Particularly when you say introduction, I will come to the application references and various genre in subsequent times. But particularly, I want to tell you about introduction. Introduction is where you start selling your content. You have very good idea. You have achieved, like I'm working on lithium. So I have done some great research, for example, and if I have all the ideas, nothing matters. Nothing matters for anybody. You can make a patent, you can sell that thing. But why you write a research paper is to sell your idea to the masses. Okay. And how it goes. So one day you will wake up, you have this new innovation, and you put your ideas into the paper. And this sort of paper, you will give it to the readers. Who is your reader? Who are they? So that's where the journals comes. These journals, they most of the time people talk about the Tyler and scientific journals like Asawa, and those journals, they are specific to, or the nature, they are specific to the topic. So this reader, the scientific reader, we call it like elite readers. Okay, those are not normal. They have some background, they have some research ideas. They comes to the journal portals. They goes to, for example, in my case, metallurgy. They will look for only metallurgy. They won't go for the computer science. Then they will come to the metallurgy, and then they will search for the particular journal, and then they will come to your research paper. But now you need to sell your content, but you don't know that reader. So you shouldn't directly start writing or start telling them this is my idea. So what you most of the time do, you tell what the other people did. Okay, so that's where it comes the literature review. So in introduction part, most of the time you will find there is a lot of literature. What is literature? What the other guys did. For example, if Prithvi and Darshil is one of the colleagues, what they have done, I don't know. The reader might know. Your reader might don't know. Then you will start telling them, like Prithvi did this in 1986, or Darshil did that in 2002. And this is the idea they started building. And then you will start giving them the references. And then you will propose, no, Prithvi have done, or somebody XYZ, this guy have done something, and this is partly correct, but partly wrong. So you will tell the reader that I'm not the only one who is proposing this idea. I don't have this, the fantastic idea coming from my mind, but actually somebody did something. So this is where the references comes. It is very important to refer the important people. How it is important, whom to give a reference. There might be a 2,000 or 2 lakhs of paper available for your area. But what is matter for the reader, or what is matter for me as a writer, is telling the reader, like, hello reader, this is me, Sachin Urade. I want to discuss about this XYZ topic. The X person have done this, but there is some flaws. Then Y person in 2002 comes, they did a mistake, and this Z people, I am Sachin, and I think this is the idea. So this is the clear introduction. That's it. There is nothing more, nothing less. And then you will come to how you did. That's where the material, methods, experiments, this parts comes. And by doing those experiments, you have the results. And by results, you talk about the discussion. But in every section, anybody can come and read, then those sentences should be flawless. Every piece, every section should be, coherent, adhere to its theme. So that's very important. So I don't think so I need to emphasize how good you should write. Of course, your grammar should be good. Your articles and every sentence structure should be grammatically correct. But most importantly, it should adhere to your main theme. Why you are writing this paper? You're telling them the idea by telling them what the other people have done, what you are trying to do, what you achieved. That's it. That's the research paper. Okay. Nobody wants to spend an extra second. But in American, culture, they don't read like every sentence. They call it like a scheme reading. So most of this European and the first world countries, they don't just go and read from one sentence to the other. They usually do the scheming. So if they want to read this book, they will not, just like read every sentence, every word. They just scheme out. So your sentence structure should be like that. So you should able to, take out all the valuable things from your research paper by just scheming out of that. So that's very important in research paper. Let's go to the second part of its application. So when you call it research, writing, many of you guys are thinking about either starting your formal conversation with your professor. As a student, when I was in my third year, I thought like this is the research writing. Writing a proposal, writing a statement of purpose. Those are not research writing, or you call the academic writing. That's very basics of application. You know who is your reader? That's your university, that's your professor, that's your advisor. These three people, the reader, and you are addressing them. But when you start, writing a research paper, you are deliberately trying to find a reader for your research. That's how, if you find a very good equation, laws of motion by Newton, but if you don't write it, nobody will get to know. So you need to write in a flawlessly that everybody can understand, and everybody's mind don't work in a similar way. So the writing should be very smooth, very fluent, and there shouldn't be many words. Words you will add, those are only mean to that paper. And every community, so I'm from the metallurgy, Darshil from the mining, and the Prithvi from the petroleum. Everybody have their own language. I do the crushing, probably Darshil is doing blasting, and Prithvi is drilling or something. So they have their own words. So you must know what are those words, what are those jargons in your branch. So you should have the compelling list of words that you can find in most of the research papers. So you should always have like a bunch of paper. From that you can extract, okay, this is your community. This is like the metallurgical community. These people use this particular words. And that's very important. You don't need to write a lot. So a few people try to write a lot. They explain everything. But consider the Declaration of Freedom, of US. It's written within the 4,000 words. The country who is running, like mostly like on a piece of paper, which is written within the range of 4,000 words, just it like a 10 pages. That should be relevant. That should be important, and don't need a lot of words. So that's very important. References, of course, you need a very good references. You can find them online. So your university, IIT, Dhanbad, our university that provide access to most of the research contents. So if you go on any website, then you will find the relevant content and various genres. So there is like particularly, and this is my end point of my talk, there are like 3 or 4 types mostly. First is the review paper. There are some big guys in the industry. They knows everything. Probably they were in the industry for last 40 years, 50 years, 30 years, 10 years, 5 years. They know everything. They have experienced the research. So they write a review paper. You can write a review paper. I am writing a review paper, but with the person who have knowledge. Okay, they talk about what is the current problem, what is the current state of the art, and that's a review paper. You will break the topic in several sections, but there is no experiment, nothing. You will just tell the readers like, hey, reader, this is the topic. These are the subsections. This is what have been done. This is what has remained. This is what the XYZ person told in 1980, 50s, 2000, 2010, and that's how the literature review will go. Second, there is an experimental paper. Title, abstract, introduction, problem statement, material, methods, experiments, and results, and the discussion, conclusion. That's it. That's experimental paper. You don't need to add everything. Okay, you don't need to write a literature review. This introduction part is not a literature review. The discussion is not a literature review. You just need to tell them, this is what I got from the experiment. That's why I'm doing the experiment. That's the introduction. The third is the theoretical paper. You might have like somebody is using a lot of data. Petroleum guys, they are using a lot of data. They are drilling holes and they are digging like mining guys, and they have all the data. They will do the empirical equations. They will do same title, abstract, introduction, why they are doing this, what is the flaws in the previous research, and they will give you the new equation. This is the data I'm using, this is the new concept I'm building, and how you are experimental proving. Either you will put that in the same paper or write a new paper. That will be the experimental paper. The fourth one could be the mixture of everything, but you can add, everything. So that those are the various types of research paper. And I guess that's it for this conversation. If you guys have any question, you can ask me right now.
Audience, if someone has any question, they can write it in the chat box, please. So, sir, before knowing this information, I thought that understanding research writing is a very complex thing. But after listening to your information, I think that research writing is just selling your ideas. And this gave me much clarity about it. And I like the way you have told us about the 5 classifications of writing. Yeah, I got to know much about this.
Exactly, sir. Your way of explaining the funda, the non-linear academic writing, and all the it makes research writing very clear to us layman beginners, and the selling our content, which is a major thing, and you explained it very well.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan, sir, is another esteemed graduate from our institute who is pursuing Master of Science in Petroleum Engineering at Texas A&M University and working as a research fellow at MCERI Group in the field of reservoir simulation and its integration with data science and machine learning tools. So we are pleased to have Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan, sir, here. So please feel free to communicate your plans and suggestions.
All right. Let me share my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's good. Okay. You can see the presentation full screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you for inviting. I was excited. I wanted to share a lot of stuff, but then I've narrowed down my learnings, my advice in this slide. I hope you can understand and learn from it. So yeah, I'm Prithvi. I graduated in 2020 from Petroleum Engineering Bachelor's from ISM. Straight away, I came to do my master's at Texas A&M University. I started working as a research assistant, and currently I'm doing my internship as a data scientist in high-paced AI startup. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are
Yes, sir,
audible.
loud and clear. No problem.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, this is my journey during ISM. These are the few pictures I took, which could probably make you understand why research writing, exploring opportunities is important. For me, it's been very fruitful that I've been, blessed and been privileged to travel because of the work I've done during my undergrad. It's also I met amazing people, intelligent people who pushed me to do such things. Few of them here, the pictures is ATC London, which is by SPE Annual Technical Conference in Canada. In my second year, I went to UTP Malaysia, which I think I started the pipeline. Now a lot of students are going there as a part of exchange. I did some hands-on experiments on nanotechnology. Then I went to London in 2019 after my travel to Canada to present my work. So what was my research output was like I published 2 journal papers. I traveled to 15 countries during my undergrad because of the work I did and the exposure I got. Been to a couple of competitions, international competitions, and as Sachin sir said, during undergrad, you don't have a lot of results and resources to carry out a research. So even a review paper is something that is a very powerful research output, a research article. And that was even my start. I wrote a review paper, a very comprehensive review paper. It was a 120-page research paper, and it took 4 months to write it. Of course, with 3-4 months of research and compiling everything. It's been pretty strong experience. So before jumping into research and the kind of writings that has been already covered by Sachin sir, my aim was to let you guys know how to seek the field of interest, explore research, find opportunities, because that's before research writing. Okay, you can do research writing, but before that you have to find relevant opportunities and how you can actually get to the point where you have enough content to publish anything or do research writing. So that's what I wanted to focus on during my talk. So yeah, the question comes at, okay, I can do research writing, I can learn how to write, but then how do I find and explore the opportunities? First of all, it's I have kind of 4 or 5 main points that I approach to find opportunities. First one is awareness. You really need to know what kind of field you are into, what kind of people around are working in that field. Try to read about it, read different articles, what fascinates you. So that is being aware. Then you find a field of interest. Now, after you have tried different things, you understand that, okay, in my case, it was data science. Like, okay, I like machine learning. Petroleum engineering has a lot of data, so you can integrate a lot of stuff with data science and petroleum engineering. So once I found, okay, I need to do this, that's my interest, I searched around, I saw, I Google a lot of people, what kind of work they are doing in this field, try to connect with them, try to mail them. This was one of the emails I wrote during my final years. Like, okay, after I graduate, before joining the company, I can have a few months of internship somewhere. And yeah, that was my thinking. I always used to mail a lot of people. This is one of the better versions you're seeing. But then back in my first year, it was really messed up the way I used to communicate through emails to people around the world and professors. It was different font size, different colors. I used to make bold and red color. So really, you have to try and learn all this. It happens eventually, but you have to keep trying. That's the whole point. So once you find the correct people, now main point comes to networking. Okay, now you can talk to a professor, like the mail I have shown that you introduce yourself in a paragraph, you tell about your background, your interest, and then in the end you can always approach a professor that I really want to work under your guidance, and this is the field that I like working in, and you can ask him if you can work. You can email, connect through LinkedIn. Being an ISM, it's a very privileged brand. I'll say that you can connect to literally anyone around the world through ISM connection. Like, be it any company, be it any university, you can always find some mutual connection to get in touch with the person you want to talk to or explore the opportunities of working under him. And I hope like you guys really exploit that ISM brand and try to connect with different people and understand what's happening around, not just in ISM, but what people do after ISM. So during undergrad, with what I did, I really compiled all the list of directions you can explore to do certain level of research. First one is department faculty. I know a lot of ISM faculties are doing really good work. It's not normal in India for undergrads to really work under some faculties, but it's really normal here. And I think that's something that a lot of people as a student are missing out, back in while they're doing their bachelor's in ISM, that we don't talk to faculties for research or exploring the different kind of collaborations you can do. I worked with Dr. K. Kahuja ma'am, and I worked on nanotechnology because even back in Malaysia, I did my work in nanotechnology, and I came to know that Dr. Ajay Mandal and K. Kahuja are really one of the best people who are also researching in nanotechnology. So I really connected with some work with her. You can always go to foreign universities, try to mail the professors like I showed you. You can always create some good drafts, mail to different professors. A lot of universities have exchange programs. You can always go in summers, like I did, to universities, work under a professor as an assistant, research assistant. There are a lot of research labs like uh, ISRO. You can go to ISRO and computational fluid dynamics. There are a lot of oil and gas research labs by ONGC and even companies and research lab outside India. You can go to non-profit organizations. I worked during my time at home in COVID after I graduated from ISM with a non-profit organization, doing some data science work for them without any pay, just trying to understand, get get exposure to kind of work they are doing, and it's not about money at that point. It's about how much you want to train yourself and learn, and really get things on your resume and uh, make a better profile. So it might seem less favorable when money is not in the picture, but you can learn a lot and you can really exhibit the kind of work you're doing. I still, to the point, talk about the work I did in this nonprofit organization. Volunteer to research collaborations. A lot of people uh, do open-ended research, which might not have data privacy issues or anything. So you can always approach to people that, hey, can I do some voluntary research under you? I have these interests, these skills. Suppose you know coding. A lot of faculties do seek people who have knowledge in Python or anything, and you can always talk to them that, can you give me a piece of work that I can do voluntarily for you? And what happens is that this work eventually converts into a publication and your name comes into it. So in the end, you are getting trained, you are learning, you're connecting to different people, and then you also have a publication. And yes, during publication, you can also learn how research writing is done, how publications are done, how it's structured. And then lastly is finding mentors. Uh, I think a lot of journey during your undergrad depends on the kind of people you are talking, the mentors you get as seniors. I got a lot of mentorship because I didn't had any knowledge about petroleum engineering or even you guys with mining or metallurgy. Try to connect with people in SPE, SME, LinkedIn. ISM seniors are the best to get guided on anything. There's literally people in all industry, in all positions. I was underestimating that. Okay, it's US. What more can I see? But then you will be amazed to what levels of ISM Janta is. Here in US and any country doing amazing work. I recently saw Devina Sarkar, ma'am. She's a professor assistant professor at MIT, and she had a picture with Robert Downey Jr. And I was just telling to my family that this is the kind of work that Iron Man was doing, and then Robert Downey Jr. came to meet her. So it's really fascinating the kind of people uh, ISM churns out, and even I had a talk with Devlina ma'am back in ISM, like, hey ma'am, I'm doing my work in nanotechnology, can I work with you? But then funding was the issue. So yes. Now, what kind of ventures do you have in terms of higher education after your undergrad? It's MSc, PhD, MBA, or a research scholar. PhD is something that Sachin sir can guide you more. Uh, MSc, yes, that's what me and Darshil are doing. It's a 2-year program, like a crash course of research plus coursework. PhD is more slow and steady kind of work during 4 or 5 years. MBA, again, something that I won't talk about because I'm not aware of it. And then research scholar. A lot of people after their undergrad join as research scholars in institutes and companies where they're not doing actively pursuing a degree, but they're actively pursuing research under someone. So talking about masters, I know a lot of you might be thinking of pursuing masters after your undergrad, and funding really becomes an issue for us. For me, it was either I get funded masters or I won't do it. And what happens is that after I went to Canada to to this paper competition, I met a lot of professors, and they were really amazed by the work I did, and they asked if I could, work with them as a RA during masters. And I was really awestruck that okay, funding masters can be fully funded, and they even pay you for that. So it's like job plus degree. Uh, then I was like, okay, I won't do job now. I'll go for masters. I came back from Canada, gave my GRE, all those papers, wrote SOP, got it proofread from ISM seniors, and then I applied to a couple of best universities. I got all funded masters offer. Now you must be thinking, what kind of profiles to make a favorable funded masters application? Now, definitely, RA is like working under a professor, like an assistant. You might be seeing a lot of labs which are being carried out by RA, which is a person who is under a professor working for research. What makes a good RA? I think it's overall personality, because you are coming to an international location. A lot of professors look not only for research experience, but what kind of student you are, how much international exposure you have. Do you have enough interest, enthusiasm, and you have enough uh, good traits that make you as a good student? Uh, and in the end, it's networking. I've always been benefited by networking through these conferences, ISM seniors, and competitions and LinkedIn. So definitely try to network, because networking gives you a broader perspective of what kind of options do you have other than what people are already doing in your college. A lot of people in my batch went to do their work in ONGC, and so exploring and networking really gave me the opportunity to see to seek something outside what has been done already, because that's what makes you stand out of different profiles that will be applying. It's a competition, right? RA is a competition because there are very few opportunities which are funded, and there are a lot of applicants. So it's a competition in the end, and you have to stand out of the line. So my advice, as a conclusion, I say is that try to go beyond your college boundaries, do things which are not conventional. Uh, Network as much as you can. I used to network a lot. Being a placement coordinator, I had a uh, chance to talk to different companies, different people, because I was working in that position. So no one could stop me with trying to get in touch with different people. Network as much as you can. I saw a couple of people uh, sent me requests on LinkedIn, but you know what would be much better is that if you could send a note while you're trying to connect, because that makes it more personal connection, and I would be more interested in accepting such requests or anyone. And I've learned this over the time, that you have to really connect to a person rather than just uh, sending a formal request. Try to email. Yeah, engage in different activities and organizations. See, what happens is that once you enter the college, you have a lot of things, a lot of activities and organizations, and not many students get that exposure, because they just sit in room, or they have a particular activity which they do most of the time. So my routine used to be like, I just leave the room in the morning in ISM and just come back in the night, because I was so busy in different activities and organizations and clubs that I never had the time to be in room. And I think that was even for Darshil or Sachin, so that we used to be very outgoing people. We used to work in different things, learn different things. In terms of research, what I say is that you are at a very nascent stage. It'll be best if you can explore different topics, understand different research that has been happening around, what topics fascinates you the most. I know a lot of students right now are not in favor of coding, and you shouldn't be narrowing down to what you like and what you don't like. You should actually try everything that is possible uh, in your BTech time, because that's where you are having a lot of time to explore what you really want to do uh, after you graduate. Definitely keeping in touch with relevance of the field and its benefits to you in terms of job, masters, and future. You cannot do a research which is irrelevant and not going to help you in terms of job, masters, or future. So a lot of you, and even me, and our generation has in this race of data science and machine learning. That's because of the relevance to the job, future, and where the job opportunities are coming up. So that's how I plan that. Okay, if I see something that is picking up the pace, I try to learn about it. What can I do to fit in the kind of work in my field of job? And lastly, there are a lot of resources around you to grow, and that that also includes SPE, different kind of fundings you can get while you are doing research. A lot of organizations, I know Shell India sponsors students who are doing research, sponsors conferences. My conference in London was actually sponsored by Shell Bangalore uh, because I was presenting some work and they wanted me to they wanted to fund me for that. So you have to really explore and talk to people and network, uh, and never underestimate the brand ISM has around the world. It works everywhere. I'm telling you, it's like you apply to universities. It really makes an impact when you're writing your application for masters or job that, hey, I'm from ISM, I've done this, I've done that, and it really is a very powerful brand around the world. And it's always like you always have that feeling that, okay, I'm a second year student, I'm a first year student, what can I do? I barely have any research experience, I barely have done anything, why would a professor accept me? The point is that you have don't try to undersell yourself by thinking all this. First you take the opportunity and then you can eventually learn, right? And that's what I want to end my quote with. That it's a quote by Richard Branson, which I try to apply in my life. That if somebody offers an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes, and then how to do it later. It might sound a bit over promising, but then I think it works really well because now you have an opportunity and it really motivates you to do something about it. That's how my internship in Malaysia was. That I didn't know anything about nanotechnology, and I told this professor, yes, I can learn and I can do it. Uh, and before my travel to Malaysia, I learned about nanotechnology from books, libraries, 2-3 months, and then I was prepared enough to do it. Same happened with ExxonMobil internship or any other internship that I've been to, or a conference or a research paper publication, that I accepted the opportunity. Don't ever miss out on the opportunity. Just take the opportunity and learn eventually. It'll be fine. That's all I have. You can always reach out to me on emails, LinkedIn. Uh, I'll be happy to talk about any kind of doubts you have, and I can, in whatever way I can help you guys.
Thank you, sir, for the amazing and very motivating speech that you gave. Surely, I personally felt that networking and communication, that even Sachin sir talked about, they're majorly important in the fields of research, and not only just in the fields of research, even in the corporate world, and even in the life of a student. And making better profiles and not just focusing on monetary gains and other things that uh, a lot of times as students, get distracted too. We should focus more on making a better profile. And later on, you talked about ISM, and that just brought back all the motivation that we had back in during the JE preparation. And I'll surely send you a LinkedIn request with an attached note too.
I know you know. It's okay. It's for the new people you're trying to connect. Sending a note really helps with trying to connect with the person rather than just making a formal connection. So that's why I suggested that. But now I know you, so you don't have to do that.
So I really like the quote you have presented at the last. Every day my seniors ask me, "Do you want to do this?" Yes, I want to do this. Then I learn it, and then I do it. And I'm actually learning many things in the college. And under the topics exploration and approaching, I think that the main point is you should find the field of interest, in what field you have interest, and then you can willingly work on it. I liked it.
I just want to add, like for that quote, say yes to every offer, but after a while, when like you're accepting 25 offers, yes, then start calculating how much you are delivering. Okay, if you are not delivering everything which you promise, or at least like a 50%, then it's a problem for you. So legitimately, be skeptic with where you are saying yes. First, for the first few time, you are trying to say yes for everything, but then you will understand: are you really delivering that thing? That's a very good question. But Prithvi, if I may possible, if you can answer this question, like what kind of responses you get when you ask for voluntary work? No money. Like, I just want to work with you. What kind of responses, and do you feel like getting exploited?
Okay, so uh, there is a fine line between what you can get and what he can get from voluntary research. My aim was to get as many international tags I can get during my undergrad. You know, suppose if Darshil works for this university in Australia, uh, and he doesn't get paid, but if he writes it in his resume, I don't think people will ask like, "Oh, did you get paid?" But it really makes him stand out of the other 50 people in his class, irrespective of he got paid or not. And yes, it's the way a professor or an organization is exploiting you. But thing is that you're getting benefited for your own personal goals, and that is something that will push you to do all this. I worked. I mean, for this non-profit organization, I was working on wind farm energy, and if you know the kind of rates they pay in US, it's probably $40-50 an hour to a data scientist. So yes, working voluntarily, it did feel like, oh, why am I doing it for free? But the thing is that when you present that work to someone new or a company or something, their focus is not on how much you got paid, but the kind of work you did and the kind of exposure you got. It's a very good startup in California, you know. And also one thing to focus on is that while you're trying to talk to a company or opportunity, you might have done 10% of the work, but you have to exhibit like you did 100%. It's not about how much you did, but how much you can talk about it. You might have done maybe 1 month of work, but how much can you really express and communicate? Uh, you have to exaggerate it. It's probably like fake it till you make it. It's like you have to understand that communication is the key when you're trying to explain your work. You might have done tremendous, amazing work, but if you're not able to communicate what you did, it's of no use. So yeah, it's exploiting, but then we have to do what we want in the end.
That's a nice negotiation. Yeah.
Yes. And yes, I did during my final year, I did get some voluntary positions that, hey, I cannot pay you, but can you do this, can you do that? And yeah, I did. So, and the thing is, for the first few times it's gonna be voluntarily, but then when you get enough good profile, then you start getting paid for it. So
Mhm.
that's okay then. It has helped.
I don't know, but I got goosebumps in between when you were talking, because that was like a story that that I went through, right? Like each and every year, I was like going to Prithvi sir. I was like, "What to do now, sir? What to do now?"
Oh yeah, Darshil used to come to me a
This
lot
was
of times, you know.
this was
Yeah, I
exactly
remember.
the way, and I really hope that you guys understand what Prithvi sir told, because that is exactly that will make you very different in the world. And as he mentioned, like the mentors for me, those my seniors who are here in this meeting, I'm really blessed to have them, because I'm a very average guy. I haven't done as much in academia as these guys have done, but I'm really blessed that I've got a really nice seniors and mentors, and I really respected them a lot, and that gave me a very clear way to where I am. And that's why I actually want you to, understand this thing, that how it works. The mentorship, man, ISM is everywhere, bro. Like everywhere. You'll not believe it. Everywhere. Anywhere, any city I go, anywhere, if I am in problem, I'm just one call away to get that thing. It's like that powerful. So I really feel it when Prithvi sir was presenting, and I was feeling myself in that story. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
sis.
even when I was traveling, the first thing I do is I go on LinkedIn, I search for the place. If I find an
Yes.
ISM senior, I'll just send a connection request or try to message him. It's been done. I did it everywhere. I was literally exploiting the connection. I went to London. I met a senior. I slept on his hall and sofa. I got two ISM alumni together in London, Scotland, Canada. Everywhere I go, I was going to Chicago for a travel, and then there were some seniors in Chicago boot school. So I just texted them कि सर होटल करने के तो पैसे उतने हैं नहीं, तो आपके घर पे रुक सकते हैं क्या? I was like, हाँ हाँ तू पूछ क्यों रहा है? And that was the LinkedIn message I sent him for the first time. Like, hi sir, I'm coming to Chicago. I'm a student. I cannot afford a hotel. And it's amazing like how informal you can get within some conversations with an ISM senior. It's amazing. Just try to understand and learn. Try to connect as much as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Okay, sir. As you all said, we'll for sure try to exploit ISM in the future.
Don't talk it after this. Don't talk like this after the talk. Just keep it to yourself.
Okay, so moving on. Mr. Darshil Asawa, sir, a prominent alumni, is a master's student at University of Alaska Fairbanks, USA, majoring in mining engineering. Other than the coal and metal mining industry, he has worked on a research project in dimensional stone mining at RK Marbles Private Limited, India, and did some research intern at the University of Western Australia. Now, I take immense pleasure and feel honored in inviting Mr. Darshil Asawa sir on this platform to share his ideas and experiences.
Thing is, the last time you guys are like at 9, around 10 or around there. I want you all to look at me like the way that Darshil sir ne kiya hai, to main to kar hi lunga. Okay, so I've done nothing special in my college life. Just so I just want you guys to look at me the way that Darshil sir ne kiya hai, to yaar main to kar hi lunga. I would be really happy if you see it like that, because I did just normal stuff in university. I didn't publish any papers or something. The only thing I did is I just followed, I got right advice at the right time by my mentors, right? Like in my second year, I got advice that you should go intern there. In the third year, I got advice you should go internship in Australia. And then the final year, I got advice, ठीक है, placement में बैठ जाओ, placement तो लग ही जाएगा, and just try to get the funded research internship, because Prithvi sir was also here. So he was like driving force, and I used to call him every time. And so the right advice at the right time by the right mentors, and here I am. And you will not believe, just adding on the things that what things you can get from the ISM alumni and from your mentors, is I was mailing ISM alumni to get a funded research opportunity there. And one senior directed me towards another senior, and he was like, yeah, I have position, just come. Just like that. Just genuinely, my advisor right now here is Dr. Sampurna Arya. He is 2003 alumni of ISM. I just mailed him that, sir, I did this. I'm from ISM. I'm graduating. I want the position. The only question that he asked is, you really want to come? And I was like, yes, sir, I really want to come. And then I had a conversation with Prithvi sir, and then he was like, yeah, just come. I genuinely gave my GRE examination after I got selected for the school. Prithvi sir know all this thing. So really just go, and everywhere you have to understand that you are really genius minds in India that is really appreciated by all over in the world. Like people, you guys are really smart in compared to other people in the world. So people are really looking for smart people, and they are really looking for you guys. The only thing is you don't have confidence to approach the other people around the world, and that's how you lack in the opportunities. But people are sitting out there waiting for me. My advisor told me that I'm not getting any request from like any application from ISM. I was like, sir, I'm going to a talk. Maybe I'll talk about this to them. He's getting requests like he has a fund position, but he's not getting any applications from India. No application from ISM. So he was like, I'm getting application in Nigeria, from Australia, from Africa. Man, I'm waiting for Indian application. There is no applicant whom I should give. So you should understand, just go approach, talk to the world. I want this. You will get it. Genuinely, you will get it. Yep. So in my talk, I think the major part, and my mentors and my seniors have talked about all the stuff. The thing I can cover is the time frame and the financing thing. So I can share my screen. I'll make it really quick because you guys may be going out or sleep. It's a sleeping time now. So I'll just quickly share my screen. Now to talk about the time frames and finance things. So this is from the talk I think I gave last year with SME. I don't know, man, why I'm not able to share. Let me try just a sec. Okay, now you can see it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this was I presented this thing with my mate Chauhan. He is in Israel. He got a fully funded masters. He's doing masters in physics, theoretical physics. So higher studies, you can go for MS, PhD, right? The two things that you get is money. The only thing that you get is money. You go for masters for high paid jobs and good lifestyle, and pursue research in academia. So that you can do after your bachelor's is PhD and MS outside. Like in my mind, it was like this, and that's totally my perspective here. And Prithvi sir has added more areas that you can go in, but MS and PhD are like the major things. So MS is just coursework. PhD, you all know these all stuff. So I'll not brush up more on this. I can share this presentation with you guys if you want to go more in it. But I think these things you all know, and Prithvi sir and Sachin sir have covered it. So MS is generally not funded, and PhD is generally funded. That's a major difference. And MS can be funded if you guys apply at right places and apply everywhere. So there are enough positions that you can apply to, and you can get your MS funded. But generally, all the people coming from India, they don't get a funded master's. So it's not a common thing. But funded PhD, you can say it's a common thing. But for you guys sitting in ISM, it's really easy to get a funded master's. And yep. So for choosing applications for your application things and university, you can just go and QS rankings and look at the coursework and stuff. Find the research, see the research projects of the professors, and just apply that I'm interested in your research work, and would you like me to work on it? And they will clearly tell you that okay, he wants to work, he has funding or not. So just list out the universities that you like based on the coursework and research that they are doing, right? So you have now 12 or 10 university in your list that you want to apply to, and then start making your SOP. My GPA is not that good. I was not really that that good in academia. My GPA was in between 7 to 7.5. So my GPA was not that high, but high GPA is really good. High GPA is definitely good, but getting even just apply if you have low GPA, it's not a deal. You are smart enough, people will take you. But you have to tell them that these all things that I have done other than academia to justify yourself that you did something, right? So you have to have something else if you have low GPA. Okay. So you need 3 letter of recommendations, 3 or 2 depending on the university. You need SOP, and these are the major things that you need. And a good research experience. Yeah, if you work with the university professors, it will be nice. If you do research internships outside India, in India somewhere, it add-ons to your application. SOP is your story that why you want to be there. That's all it is about. Just write your story and then verify it with your seniors. I verified it, my seniors. Prithvi sir was the one I verified it to. And then they will suggest you that, okay, do this. This will make things happy and make things good. And you know what? In my case, I directly send it to my my advisor, my professor, because he's my ISM senior. So I was like, "Sir, can you just see it? Is it good?" And he was like, "Yeah, go for it. Now it is good." And he suggested some suggestions, and then I suggested it. And he was the one who was going to select me, and he suggested me the suggestions. You know what? How ISM works. So, so that was my SOP part. And just you have to justify if you have less than 8.5 GPA, justify it with your work. You have to justify, as Prithvi sir said, just you have to communicate in a good way that you did something. If you did 10, you have to communicate that you did 100. So you have to be good at it if you have like low GPA. And if you have high GPA, then still you have to justify, just tell them that, oh, I did something, and I got really high GPA. So just tell them what you have. And after that, you have to give TOEFL and GRE. These are it's around 15,000 INR for TOEFL, IELTS, and GRE. So you have to give these examinations. TOEFL and IELTS, you can take one of them. I gave TOEFL for US TOEFL. I just gave TOEFL, and I gave it from home. You can give it from home. So TOEFL, GRE are the examination that you have to give, and they are around 15,000 INR. And for TOEFL, you just need 1 week of preparation, and for GRE, maybe you need 1.5 month or 1 month of preparation, because you need to remember the words, vocab words. Okay, so this is like the examination that you need to give. But also here, many universities have waived off GRE, so you have to look at the university. If you're the university that doesn't require GRE, so you can just directly apply there, right? So these are the resources for TOEFL, and I can just share this PPT and these links to you guys. So these are the resources for TOEFL. These are the resources for GRE. You can talk with any of your seniors who is outside, who definitely has given GRE. So I use Magoosh app for my GRE preparation, and I give online tests on these all sites. Yeah. So I gave like eight mock tests, and it's nice to have a score of about 320 out of 340. Yeah, the minimum score in GRE is 280. So about 320 is considered to be a nice score. But for mining, 310 also works. I didn't get much because my university has waived off GRE, so my score was low, but my score was around 308. But there was no requirement of GRE in my university, so it worked out. So these are the deadlines for application in the countries. Like in USA, December to March is the application openings, and in Canada also December to March. December to March is the kind of like very common, but in Germany, like in European countries, it's like many universities also go till July, and other European university, they go from December to April. Some in Germany, they go till July. So these are the deadlines, the time frames that you can apply in. And this is like the basic time process. So briefly, you give your TOEFL, GRE, start applying, and while you're applying, start making your SOP. Once you get confirmation from the professor that he can fund you, then you can just apply in the university. You can also apply for scholarships and stuff. So this is like the basic things that you should know, that SOP, letter of recommendations, GRE, TOEFL, and a lot of mails to a lot of professors around the globe, and try to connect all the international alumni of ISM. So funding, there are two types of funding: teaching assistantship and research assistantship. And the funding is like your full tuition fee will be waived off, and you'll get around 1,800, like 1.5 lakhs of in INR each month. So that covers up everything. So approach professors, apply scholarships, or else people take education loan also. But you are in ISM, you have to get you can get it if you try really hard. But if not, then you can take education loan. Many people come here taking education loan, and they repay it after 2 years. They start working. Yep. So that was very quick intro, and let me stop sharing.
I had a few comments on what Darshil said on the GPA thing. I think Darshil and myself, we are not being a good academic student, at least in terms of GPA. Sachin sir has been bombing GPA since I remember last time I talked to him. My GPA was 7.2, I think. Thing is that it's a really big trade-off, that you cannot mess up your other part of the profile and GPA. Either it has to be a good GPA or a good out of the box profile that will help you. I know like a lot of students might have messed up with their GPA in the first, second year, and they feel like, oh, we cannot get into such things. And, you're trying to undersell yourself. Thing is, you have time. You can build a lot of new things in your profile, if not GPA. Don't be demotivated with GPA. It's a measure a lot of people take into, but if you can show different things, it doesn't matter. It was a crazy story. I came back from London. I applied to Imperial College, and they had a GPA of 8.5 for their masters to even get accepted. Now, what happened is that I met a professor there who was the HOD of the department in Imperial College London, and then they gave me a conditional offer that your GPA needs to be above 8.5, and I had one semester left. There's no way, even if I get 10 on 10, that my GPA would be above 8.5 with 7.2. So I just mailed this professor that, Professor, I cannot get above 8 also in one semester. And what he did was amazing, that he mailed admission department to remove that condition and bring down the GPA barrier for my admission. I didn't end up going there because London, Imperial doesn't provide master's funding. So it was a lot of money for me. But, you can really change things, bend things if you have a good profile. Like, professors will kill for you, and take care of the deadlines of the master's application. I was pretty late. By the time I got accepted, I was February, Jan. I started my application very late. I also got an email from Stanford professor, Dr. Louis Dulfosky, to work as a RA, but I missed my GRE deadline, and Stanford closes its application very early. So really be careful with deadlines. You have to really make a good plan, research everything, and make it very structured if you're planning to do a master's or a PhD.
Yeah, so this is the suggestion that I got from Prithvi sir when I was doing my application. I made make Excel sheet with the deadlines, with everything. Okay, proper Excel sheet with 12 university, with all the professors that you want to mail and everything in Excel sheet, and just follow up in that way. Just make things a bit professional, and it will make make your life a bit easy. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
Thank you, Darshil sir. Thank you, Prithvi sir. And thank you, Sachin sir, for sharing your experiences and information you had with yourself. Now, sir, I would like to inform you that we have pre-collected some questions from the audience itself and would opt for a question session about the things discussed today.
Sure.
Yep. All good.
So the first question is, sir, what are the precautions we should take before opting for research writing, so that if any controversy occurs later on, we would be able to handle them?
So sorry, can you repeat like what kind of controversy you're talking about?
So
Sir, by
controversies on the research papers, research rights.
Like plagiarism or stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you are writing a paper, if you are truly like, I can focus that point because mostly these guys, my juniors, they focus most on job profiles or something. But if you are really writing a paper, you never copy from any document. You go, you read, you understand, you read a lot of UV papers, and you will never make a plagiarism. You will never. I never like right now. I'm writing. I wrote like 3 papers. It's in the review. It's on the bench now, but we never think about plagiarism because you just read the paper, you get the idea, and you summarize in your paper. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a no chance. If you're really writing a good paper, I know what this question means because we have when I was in fourth year or third, when I was in third year, these guys like Prithvi was in second year. We had a very controversy in our university.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, chemistry department, and
I was about to say that. Yeah.
yeah. So if you're really doing a research, you will never do a plagiarism. Okay, but if you're just trying to get a research for your either funding proposals or like getting an application master student, then you will do this kind of shit. But usually if you are doing a research, what you do, I had a first-hand experience with this boy. He was like my senior. He worked with Padma Shri guy in Kolkata, and they were writing the paper by hand. They wrote their paper on like a physical paper, and they typed that thing. So you can understand what kind of dedication people give. But for funding, these people copied some images from that paper, this lower journal, higher journal, and put it. That's not a research. That's a politics.
And just to add, don't ever dare to copy anything in your life. You'll be messing up your career ahead in any organization, any profession. If you get caught in plagiarism in SP or any journal paper, they'll ban you for life. So don't, and the bad name you'll get throughout your professional career that this guy got copied, because the people who are reading your paper are actually in the industry itself. So don't ever dare to copy anything. You'll mess up big time. You shouldn't even ask this question that can we copy and how can we, turn around things if you get caught. Don't ever dare to copy.
Yeah. But I understand. I understand. I was in your shoes, so you can. There is a website where you can check. So because I know this because we were copying our assignments, and the professors were using this website to check the assignments have like same thing or not. So plagiarism in assignment, right? So you have websites where you can just pay, or I don't know if they are free or not, but you can go check your paper that it has like you have copied the stuff or not, because sometimes it happens that तुम्हारे को नहीं पता है कि I have copied or not. You have copied, but you have not. You don't know.
One more thing, just not about just a research paper. When you send your SOP, statement of purpose, and a research statement, when you send that to the university, they are actually connected with the whole universe of university. So when you send that automatically check all your words, all your sentences, all your paragraph. 14 words in a sentence, they check it like that, and then they will get to know where you copied from. Like you are applying for example, my University Nevada, Reno, and you took a SOP from MIT or Stanford. Just use that, then they will get to know.
Yeah, I totally. So don't copy it. You have your own ideas, you have your own brain. Just put on it, and you have a great brain. I'm telling you.
So I will move to the next question. Like, people have been doing research writing for a very long time. So what will give my research writing a unique identity? What will make it a unique or put it at a extraordinary light?
Do you guys want to answer or should I start?
No, you should say it. I think you should go.
There is no unique ID. There is no unique idea. There is nothing like a unique. Okay, you're not the first person who is working on that. there might be 1,000 people from like last millenniums or like millions of years ago. Somebody has thought about that. Okay, if you think about the gravity, somebody has done that work. Okay, there is nothing like a unique. Okay, everything is available. You have sort of a different perspective of looking things. So when you write a paper, that's what I started saying, how you got that idea. There is no chance that you have. And if you are making a new thing, that's an innovation. That's not a research. Okay. Research starts from this fundamental idea that somebody have done something. Now you're telling them either you are wrong or you are correct. Okay. So there is no sort of a unique idea per se. But if you have something like that, if you have something very, very new, then you will start telling the people like, this is what human history talks about. Okay, in the evolution of research, this is what happened, and I'm bringing this new idea. So that's and if you want to check that idea, go ahead and read a lot. Read a lot about that subject. Google it. Go on the Science Direct, go on the Tyler Francis website, go on all the journals, look at that topic. Okay, you probably need to read like 200 papers, but it's okay because you have a unique idea. If you want to make a patent something like that, just go and read. Nobody's stopping you. And your ISM ID, I know for sure, is giving access to all of them. Otherwise, use Sci-Hub. Okay, copy the DOI ID, put it on the Sci-Hub, you will get the paper. Okay,
Yeah.
You can, like, there is only one thing, like Sci-Hub, use it. Okay, copy the DOI. Every research paper have unique ID. Use that ID, put it on the Sci-Hub. Just Google it, Sci-Hub. You will get that paper. Read and clear a lot, and you will understand idea when you write the paper in introduction. Like Prithvi have done something, and this is what he goes, and this is what wrong he did. There is no sort of unique per se.
Yeah. I'm also
Okay,
learning a lot of things today.
Prithvi, what's your comment? Do you have any idea?
I think, yeah, there is nothing novel you can start in a topic. It's been already done. It's just done already. And I know you guys are asking questions which are probably, people spend 40-50 years on research topics their whole life, and they end up doing something novel in the end. You really have to understand that writing is not the bigger issue. It's doing the research that is the bigger step. Once you do the research, writing won't be the problem. It's a joyful ending you're giving to that work. Okay? It's like, yeah, I've done this, I did that. It's like compiling everything. So writing research paper won't be the issue once you have done enough work. And writing new research paper and all that, that's like 10-20% of the work. So really focus on doing research rather than how you can write research. Eventually on the way you'll understand how
it's and I just want to add, like, not like a counterintuitive, not countering the Prithvi's idea, but it's like a last part. But sometime usually you write daily journals, okay, or like you write what you are doing today, or like experiments. So it is very important that you will write every day, okay, what you are doing today. So when I prepared for this, I try to write like what I want to say. When you write about it, you're actually thinking about it. Okay, you're putting those words, idea on the paper, and then you will understand where you are making a problem. Okay, then you, in a retrospective way, you will correct that, and you will always get a feedback from your own side. So whenever you are doing a research, try to write it on the paper, like, Sachin, I want to do this and this work today, why I'm doing, what is my idea, what is the benefits. Do analytically, and then you will really understand what you're doing, and then correct it if it is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. What is the Indian governmental approach towards research writing? As in, how to avail financial aid to study abroad?
So there are some scholarships. Okay, there are some scholarship. Indian government usually provides. There are Commonwealth scholarships. There are Indian government who are sponsoring for the categories like lower income, not just for the categories, but for the lower income households. But you need like a competitive GPA for that. Okay, it shouldn't be like 6 or something, but your profile should match on the level. There is like income resource, like if your income is below 8 lakh or 5 lakh, then government will try to give you like scholarship for this. I checked before, but I had like a few offers before I checked that. I just like fun, but there are some companies, Jindal Steel, Tata Steel, they actually give you scholarship as in the form of loans. So they say like this is a scholarship for you. Jindal provides a lot of scholarship, like they announce like 100 crore for every year, and they give like, because every education costs like at least 40 or 50 lakhs rupees. Okay, so yeah, they are funding like 50 or 80, but you need to repay them without any interest. So that's the
Yeah, but the best
And
thing you guys can do is RNTA.
Yeah.
That you guys just do. Yeah.
yeah, let me tell you, like fighting for state scholarship and government scholarship, it's not worth it, because if you put that same energy and time into mailing professors and doing some research, it'll it'll help you more easily. Getting
Yeah.
government scholarships, I was trying when I got my admission to Imperial that can I get state scholarships and all, and they are really GPA focused. It's highly competitive, because it's not just your university people, but like thousands of Indians that will be trying. There's a lot of politics, so it's not worth it. Don't put your energy in state and government and organizing scholarships. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
And the RATA thing becomes a bit easy because everybody doesn't know that, and that's why we
Yeah.
are. I for me, I wanted me to be here to tell you guys that you have this option, right? People don't know about it. Maybe you guys also didn't know about that you can get a funded master's, because I didn't know about that in my third year until I got to talk to Prithvi sir that, oh, you can get it, just mail it,
And
and then I mailed it and I got it.
And thing is, even after knowing, you guys won't do it. I know statistically, out of 30 students that are here in the call, probably 4 or 5 would actually do mail. So you are really a rare personality who is trying to approach a professor, and that's something that professors like. Okay, out of these 100 students, at least someone is trying to reach out and show his interest. So
Yeah.
that'll help.
If I want to put a real number, then from the dual degree mineral engineering, every year we were sending at least one student to US, and the only guy was sending an email. There are like at least 14 or 10 students, then only one guy is sending email outside, and
Yeah.
easily the guy getting scholarships and
I
everything.
told you I gave my first mail to that professor and he was ISM, and I didn't know that he had a funding or not. He was like, yeah, come on.
And
I met a guy here a few days ago, 2 days ago. He's from NIT Jaipur, and his GPA is six. Okay, and he's here for PhD. He got an assistantship for 20. He's getting $2,200 per month.
Wow.
So GPA 6 from NIT Jaipur, no research paper, recently graduated, working in some analytical company, and he is here and getting a $2,200 and working on fluid dynamics, probably working for here 4 years, probably going for a job. That's it. Like
And-
good exposure.
One last thing to add. I don't know what has happened to the generation we are in. I was talking to this senior, Dr. Anil Kumar. He has his own oil and gas company. He's probably one of the richest ISM alumni you'll ever see. His house is like a White House in Texas. Like he's close to $1 billion now. And I was talking to him. He told that back in when he was doing his bachelor's, toppers not used to focus on getting job in ONGC, but getting an admission in outside university. Out of 13 people in his batch, nine 9 students went right away to do masters and PhDs, and after that, eventually, rest of them also came. And he was so disappointed that out of your whole batch is just you and who came to do masters. I don't know what kind of motivation people have in getting a job. I mean, yes, and I'm telling you brutally honestly, everyone will get a job. Think about what's beyond it. Like, even I was amazed that back in 1967, when people didn't had these communication networking opportunities, they were thinking about masters and PhDs. Like, they were trying to gather the money from ISM and their relatives and all. So you have to be really I don't know what has happened, but you have to actually explore and see what options you have outside your job. Like,
I know the reason. I know the reason. Interaction between seniors and juniors. That's the main thing, Seniors will tell the junior, like, hey, how in there, they will tell, like, I got to know about this position from Himesh Patel. So there was like a very political senior when I was in first year. He was interacting with me very nicely, but he told me, if you wanted to go in the research, try to meet that senior. So I was in the first year. I didn't have any knowledge about mental engineering, but he told me that go and meet this and this guy, meet so and so, and email this guy. So it's about that interaction, like how much you are interacting with your seniors. And probably your final year don't know anybody, but that's the different stuff.
The line that professor said, that do beyond, right? Job everyone is doing, man. That was one of my driving force to be in America. You get a job, you'll get a job, man. There are plenty of jobs there. Do something special. You are special. Do something special out of the box for this world, for some greater cause, right?
And it's not like KN or ONGC or CIL is the end of the I saw people started from Accenture, Infosys because of their GPA. They had a very low pay joining, and then eventually they rose to very good ranks. They had their own startups and everything. So don't focus about job. That's what I'm saying. Try to explore, see what fascinates you, and think beyond.
Do something big, man. Do something big. Come on.
It's good. You guys took out time to listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's very.
I hope library doesn't close down.
No, it will stay there. Like they can stay there up to 12 o'clock. It's 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 10:30, right? Yeah.
10:37. Yeah.
You should do it more frequently. I think I appreciate the initiative you guys took, because if I would have been given an opportunity to talk to someone who is doing masters and PhD, I think from my first year itself, I would have explored and exploited more. And
yeah,
I know after I started my masters, I got a lot of messages from Darshil's batch, like, sir, we want to do masters, we want to do foreign internships, what should we do? And I think that's where you should also network and connect to seniors. Like, there's so much you can do in BTech. You really underestimate what you have now.
Yeah, try to interact with seniors. There are a lot of seniors doing a lot of great things in the globe coming out of ISM, and they really feel you guys because they were at your place at one time, right? So many people in Harvard, studying in Stanford, Deblina Sarkar ma'am in MIT, she's a professor doing work with Robert Downey Jr. It's like,
I was in Malaysia. I went to the senior and who was a, I think 1997 pass out, and we went to go out somewhere, and we went to her parking. There was Hummer, there was a Mercedes.
Whoa.
And I was like, she had a Hummer, okay? It's pretty crazy. And she was living beside a prince of Malaysia. Like, those 3 apartments were occupied by prince. It's pretty crazy what you can see around. And, then you get motivated, like, oh, fuck, I can do that. Like, I can go somewhere near it. Like, if not Hummer,
you relate
something
that if she can do it, then I can also, because she was also,
You try to be in that shoes, like, oh, she did from ISM, I'm from ISM, I can do that, I can do this.
Yeah. and it works.
Really
It gives you
motivates you.
energy. It gives you energy. Yeah.
Anikesh, any other question?
Yes, sir, we have another question.
Yeah.
So someone from the audience has asked that he wishes to go abroad for masters. So is it preferable to go along with completing BTech or go after 1 to 2 years of job experience?
Okay, so yeah, I'll answer then. You guys can chime in. It's
Yeah.
good to have job experience, but the thing is, when you get into the job, you get into your comfort zone, and then you don't want to push to do studies. I mean, right now itself, you guys won't study during BTech. Do you think after getting into job and comfort zone, you'll be pushed to do masters and PhD? When I was during my application process in ISM, I had around 80 to 90% people in my batch like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to go masters, PhD, and all that. But after 2 years, I think one guy is trying to apply for masters during his job. So the probability really decreases. If you're really motivated and you know you want to do research, just get into the PhD possible. With time, your motivation really dilutes. You try to comfort and you try to confront yourself like, yeah, life is going good. Why should I do masters? India is good. This job is good and all that. So you stop pushing yourself beyond job. So I'll avoid that because I know मेरा एटीट्यूड काफी मटिया हो जाएगा जॉब में जाने के बाद. It's like छोड़ो यार, जॉब है, आराम से वीकेंड पे पार्टी कर रहे हैं, आईएसएम के लोग हैं, बैंगलोर में इधर कहीं जाएंगे और टाइम पास करेंगे वीकेंड्स पे. You're trying to mislead yourself, saying कि हाँ, but like you can do much better. So I'll avoid that. I know most people are like me. काफी मटिया हो जाता है eventually. अभी तो सोच रहे हो करने का, जॉब 3-4 साल जॉब करोगे पूरा उतर जाएगा मोटिवेशन कुछ करने का. Like हाँ स्विच कर
पैसा आने लगेगा ना.
I will give you two examples for this question. One is from my batchmate. He had very good research attitude. He published 2 papers, went to Canada, went to multiple conference, came back to India, worked in the Samsung, like as an intern. Then he was in dual degree. He had a lot of money. He was partying for a bit because he had a good GPA. And at the end semester he got like 10 and 10 out of 10, and then he went for the job. Okay, in between he was in Canada for a long time. Okay, he came back, he joined the organization Samsung in Bangalore. He got the credit card, he got his first credit card, doing party. Okay, enjoying the vibes, not like parties like just having a alcohol, but just like normal party. But and then when he thought about doing the masters, when he came here, he really don't want to go into the studies. Now he's addicted to like feeling sit on the desk and do studies. That's okay. Now the second example, and this example will answer one of the other questions. Should I go for analytical master's program or advance my degree in petroleum engineering and your experience? Okay, so there was a guy, Vasu Raghav. He was 2018 pass out from petroleum department. He wanted to go for computer science. He wanted to do masters in computer science, but because it was his petroleum degree and he didn't had a lot of experience on coding side, so he went for the job. But during his 3 years of job, he was continuously studying for GRE, TOEFL, getting an LOR because he wants to go for computer science and electronics part. Okay, you don't want to do the petroleum. In that case, that experience matters a lot, because after completion of your masters, you cannot tell the other professor that, hey, I have experience in computer science, because you don't. His bachelor's in petroleum engineering. So in that case, like, should I go for analytical master's program? So if you want to go in that part, have a good experience. So in that case, you can. And now this Vasuraga, he is joining New York, NYU. So this fall. So that's a very good example, like considering your experience.
I mean, that guy was someone who who didn't get placement because of his GPA. He ended up doing. He started a low-paying job. He's now SD2 in Flipkart, which most computer science people won't reach. It's a tremendous amount of hard work and patience he had to do masters and pursue computer science. So you have to be really that dedicated to do such things.
Yeah, just a short note from my end that just it's not like MBA. MBA you require like Oxford, Harvard, MIT. They require like 2-3 years of experience in the application. MS is not like that, right? You can just come straight forward. And I just want to request Sachin sir, because he did 1 year of work in India and he then joined.
I didn't have any other thing to do. COVID hits, no visa offices. So I thought because I got the placement during my 5th year, and I thought let's join that company, no problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, make some money. Yeah.
And then if you're making money, then were you feeling to go out again now?
No, because I knew I will make much more money by coming here.
That's the driving force, guys. That's the driving force.
If you are in metallurgy, if you are in mining, 50,000, 60,000 bucks. But when you come here, you make real money. You see real dollars. That's
So you are making more money doing masters,
Exactly.
getting a degree and doing it. You are making 1.5 lakh and living like American lifestyle. So
yeah,
that should drive you, right?
AQI index here is 3920. In India, it's 100, more than 100. So you can, you can see achievement. You can live a very good life.
Yeah.
Money is a motivation. Especially in petroleum engineering, I've seen it's difficult to get a job, but once you get it, it's pretty good. Like what Exxon was offering me is something I earn here in.
But for the future, you'll learn more.
It's a good motivation, if not anything.
For me, in mining also, they started paying good.
Passion.
They started paying good. They started paying around 1 lakh. That is a good life in India, but here they pay 60, 70 lakhs a year after you graduate and do job.
So before, I was very good in research. My GPA was TikTok. And but one of my motivation, I knew one person, Sankit Bachua. He did his bachelor's in mental engineering. If you get a job at that time, 2015 and 16, he got the job. Then he would have probably get 6 lakhs per annum. But at the same time, when he joined Freeport McMoran, the company where Darshil is working, interning, he got 88 lakh per year. So that's bro.
And now he's earning more because he has shifted to fintech companies now.
Yeah, now he moved
he has shifted to fintech.
Upgrade, and now he's making a lot of money.
At least 100,000 bucks, at least.
Yeah.
Your passion can be research or money. It's fine. Forget passion. Just earn. It's enough.
Yeah.
So that should be a good driving force for you guys to apply and mail. Just few mails away from $100,000, right?
But it's not as easy as Darshil is saying, but you can get it.
I'm just making you guys feel comfortable. You should be confident. Just start the process. You'll get it.
Okay, sir. A question I had personally, just one question, that if we want to pursue some domain that we were not related to in our BTech, sir, how can we continue in that way? If I am a petroleum engineer bachelor and I want to pursue something related to machine learning or data science or deep learning, how can I move forward?
Vasurado is the best example. Prithvi, you can tell him
So I understand there is a big insecurity with petroleum engineering in your generation now, and even our generation in general. But thing is that if you're really good with subject matter, and I know the jobs are popping up in data science and machine learning field, that's what I'm doing. Thing is, you can always find work and integrate it with what you are doing. I know you do some drilling and reservoir and production engineering studies. You can always deep down, we are all engineers. We know maths, statistics, all that, and you can always integrate all those things. You can eventually build a profile. It will be hard, yes, because you'll be competing with other data scientists who have done computer science majors and data science degrees and all that. But it'll be a tough start. But I think if you are very strongly focused, like Vasuraghav sir, he was a really good petroleum engineer. He also did research. He also published. He was a really good petroleum engineer. He didn't get into ONGs or anything. And from second or third year, he started coding. He had a lot of passion for coding. Yes, he didn't get a 12 or 15 lakh job like in Kane or Reliance or anything. But thing is, he was really motivated to do this. And he rose from 4 to 5 lakh job to 25, 32 lakh job now within 2-3 years, and it's really inspiring. That's why I was in Bangalore with him during my ExxonMobil internship, and it used to be very motivating with the things that people have done around you. It always feels like, oh, if he can do it, probably I can do, not in same time, but at least 2-3 years I can do something like that. Like, might take more time, but yeah, I'll do it. To do data science and data analytics in your and if you want to study in those fields, do your masters and all, you have to start from scratch. Like, first of all, get some work done during your BTech, join a company, eventually build a profile. So once you build a data science profile, your degree really shadows. The degree won't matter. Like Sachin sir said, that once you have experience, they focus more on your work experience rather than your degree. So if that's what you want, yes, you have to do some job or make a good enough profile. You have intuition like, oh, is this best, and it eventually. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
I
advice.
want to Rakesh, you're from petroleum. I know one guy from environment. He was my batchmate. I don't really remember his name, but I guess Prithvi will eventually remember.
Praneet.
I guess environment.
Praneet, sir,
Praneet,
no?
yeah,
Praneet.
exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he
Praneet,
he
sir.
he didn't had a good GPA. Okay, he's from
Yes.
environment. Like nobody, like at that time in 2020, no company was willing to give a job offer for environment for coding, and then he applied and he got job in Walmart, I guess.
He was brutal, guys. Like in final year, he started coding. 6 months, he left every social circle he had in life. I said to batchmates and everything. 6 months, he just did lead code, brutal study of coding and all. And within
Exactly.
6 months, from pure environmental engineer, he got into software engineering role, and that
And
too
I
in
learned
Walmart.
he was trying to write a paper. So and he proved that to the panelists. Like, I'm not just a normal guy. I'm coming from environment. I studied code from last 6 months. I'm writing a paper on it. So having a paper give edge. Like, you are not just a normal guy. So Anikesh, if you are in second year or third year, I don't know, but if you are in junior year, so probably you can start working on machine learning and AI. You can ask many of seniors, like those are in US or Canada or somewhere, like, can I help you in some work? And they are willing to give you work. They may give you like $10,000, 10,000 rupees per week or per month if you are really good in that. And that might be a case. And you can ask them, like, if you have surplus work, I can learn from you. If they are in master's, PhD, you can directly work under with them. If you're really good, then they can ask, like, after 1 month or 2 months, you can ask them, like, if you can take me as a RA, don't pay anything, but take me as a RA and try to connect me with your advisor, then that would be that's how you can grow your profile. And it's always better to start investing on yourself at the very new, like at the very basic time. When you are very in your second year, first year, start investing, in terms of your health, in terms of your knowledge, in terms of money.
Yeah. I think the culture is changing in ISM right now. Many mining engineers, petroleum engineers, and environmental engineers are getting a lot of coding jobs. So I think it is changing, but that's how you change it. That's how you make your profile.
So these were all the questions we had today. Thank you, seniors. We have
Yeah.
come to the end of our session. So It has been a very informative session, and we all are glad that we get to leave with more than what we came here with. And we are grateful to you from the bottom of our hearts that you took your time from your busy schedule and made this evening insightful of ours.
Yeah, I just want to thank my seniors from my bottom of the heart that he took out time to be here, and they know that I'm really thankful to them. Yeah, and thank you all for listening to us. And we hope that we are really these words are really productive for you guys, and we hope to see you at some greater heights in the future.
Yeah.
For me personally, yeah, I would be really happy.
My last note would be just get contacted with ISM Janta. They are really good. They are fucking good, you know. You don't know them. If you come here or if you go anywhere in the industry, भाई मचा रहे लो, ठीक है. तो Google ले लो, Microsoft ले लो. You take any industry, okay, biology, anything. अपने लोग है. Economics, our Janta is there, okay. I know many people. Like I was hiking with few tech people from San Jose. They're like, boy, we are. If you want to go outside of metallurgy, start learning coding. Okay, we'll help you to get like H1B and like some kind of jobs. You know, so जनता है भाई और तुम अकेले नहीं हो. So just
ठीक जनता है.
बहुत जनता है. But just start investing on yourself. लोगों से मिलो. I don't know about your current seniors, you know, fourth year seniors, final year students, how they are experienced because of this, you know, COVID lockdown. They didn't get a chance to interact with like Darshil's batch or Prithvi's batch, but mostly. And if you guys have time, then you go for the convocation. Okay, you will find very good people. You know, I would really wanted to go there. But
yeah, I wanted to go. I'm also
हाँ, लेकिन जीपीए बना लो तो कॉन्वोकेशन में गोल्ड में मिल जाएगा तो अच्छा रहता है. So get to know, like use this opportunity because you guys are having like you will see the first time, you know, this convocation senior junior relationship. मजे करो. Use this convocation for your, you know, expanding your knowledge, networking. That's very important.
Yeah.
So any ending note from you, Prithvi sir?
Convocation आया तो BT आ गई तो it's okay.
मुझे BT आ गया.
Yeah. I was hoping कि हाँ December में या कभी जाएंगे तो हो जाएगा, but then yeah, it's after 5 days. पीना पड़ेगा उस दुख में.
फोटोज देख के चलना पड़ेगा.
Yeah. No, it's good. Just keep in touch with people, right? Nikesh, it's really important that you talk to someone and you keep following what's happening, following up, keeping in touch. ISM people are pretty brutal outside. Like you'll see even like there was this mining alumni who was like head of ML and data science group in Google. He's from South India. I had a talk with him like, sir, kahan se mining or data science? So yeah, it's pretty good. Just get in touch with people, talk to them.
Yeah.
So we are done.
Yeah.
It's nice talking to you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So,
see you guys. Bye, Harshit. Yeah. Do you want to say anything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we consider ourselves immensely lucky today that we got to interact with you. The insight you provided us today about research writing at such an early stage of our engineering journey is truly an eye-opening, and we all thank you for your guidance again, sir. We will work ahead with diligence and stick to the principles and advices you have provided us today, and an emerging and promising topic of interest. I hope every student has enjoyed this and learned something new. And thank you for joining this meeting, sir. Surely we will follow the things you have said.
Good
All
job.
the best. Good night.
Yeah, sir,
Yeah.
sir.
Bye.
So before leaving this meeting, sir, we want to have a group photograph. So it's a request
yeah,
to
yeah.
every attendee to.
यार हमने तो हमारे चेहरे तो दिखाए रहे, बाकी लोग
हाँ,
जनता
यार, चेहरे दिखाओ के।
दिखाओगे.
कहाँ पड़े हुए हो, क्या कर
रूम
रहे
को
हो?
दिखा दो बे।
Yeah.
कोई लोड नहीं है भाई।
अब हम तो क्या ही कर लेंगे, हम तो आ गए हैं अब अमेरिका में।
Oh, we finally saw Neha. She has been texting on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Oh, she's Neha. Yeah, she's coordinating really nicely. Nice.
Shivam, Rahul.
Thank you, sir.
ये भी लाइब्रेरी, हाँ सही है।
I think काफी लोग कैमरा खोलने के पोजीशन में नहीं है। ये तो भाई हॉस्टल वाले लौंडे हैं अपने।
हाँ
भाई मजे करो भाई एकदम। वी आर सीइंग, मतलब मैं पर्सनली खुद को देखा हूँ तुम लोगों के अंदर, तो तो इट्स वेरी नाइस।
सही है।
चलो, ऑल गुड गाइस, ऑल गुड।
स्क्रीनशॉट फोटो जो लेना है ले लो यार।
हाँ, ऑल गुड शिक्षा।
Yes, sir. The photo has been done.
Okay, great.
Great to meet you guys.
Thank you,
Do a
sir.
lot of good work. Good night. Yep.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.